Good morning, friends. I hope everyone is having a great Wednesday so far. So I went to water aerobics this morning. I'm getting back into my routine and I am excited about it. So I haven't been to water aerobics in about 3 weeks. I got a new tattoo the week before Christmas and I couldn't get it wet for a good week or so. And then it was the holidays. And so like we all do, you tend to get out of your routine during that time. And so I'm back into it. I tell you what, I have felt so good this week. I started back eating healthy on Monday and taking some supplements, health and wellness supplements, and I have felt great. I am so glad to be back into the routine and all the things that make me feel great. Opie, no, you cannot get on the live right now. My dog Opie wants to say hi. Let me just let him say hi real quick. Say hi, everybody. And now you have to go, okay? He's such a cutie, but he demands a lot of attention. So let's get ready today. I had a makeup lesson yesterday, and I told the client that I would do a video to help as a refresher for her, because I know I shared lots of tips and tricks with her, and I know she's not going to remember everything. So I've got the products that we used at the lesson yesterday. If you're hopping on, please say hi. Let me know you're watching. And if you're watching the replay, put a 2 in the comments. This will be going on my YouTube channel as well. So hi, Angie. I was just noticing my hair. The last time I got it done, she asked me if I wanted it cut or trimmed, and I said yes. And now I'm regretting it because it had grown. So I'm hoping it'll grow faster again and yeah, grow back out. Anyway, all I did was put some dry shampoo in it today. I haven't done anything else to it. All right, we're gonna start off with, when I do a makeup lesson, I always start off with skin prep. And I recommend using a micellar cleansing water. I love Pharmacy's. Let me go ahead, by the way, and put my pharmacy shopping link in the comments and pin it so that if you need any products, if you're a current customer and you need refills, or if you want to try something for the first time, that's my shopping link that I've just pinned. But also I am available to help you as well if you need specific recommendations for skincare or makeup. So the first thing I'm doing is taking our micellar cleansing water on a cotton round, and I'm just going to rub it all over my face to remove any pollution or dirt or makeup that did not come off when I took my makeup off and did my skincare. So like I said, I've been to the pool today. I did shower, but I might have a little bit of chlorine residue, you know, somewhere on the face. I don't really get my face wet though. So anyway, there's still some stuff. So micellar cleansing water. I love, love, love ours. I'm not just saying that because I sell it. I have actually tried lots of different brands because we didn't sell it for a little while. Pharmacy got rid of it. And I was so sad. And I went on a search to find the best micellar cleansing water, and I did not like any of that I tried. So when we brought it back, I was ecstatic, to say the least. Next, I'm going to use a toner. So this is our skin prep process. First, you're going to cleanse. Second, you're going to use a toner. This is the Age Reversed toner. It smells amazing. The toner is going to help restore the pH balance in your skin. And this, like I said, it smells amazing. It's very light and clean. Again, all of the pharmacy products are lightweight. Even with a full glam face of makeup, you're not going to feel like you're wearing a bunch of makeup. All right, so toner is the second step in the skin prep process. Next, number 3 is going to be serum. I'm using the Vitamin C Glow Serum, which is going to provide a lot of hydration to my face. So I just put a couple of pumps in the fingertips, and I'm just pressing it into my skin. Pressing with the fingertips. You can kind of move it around, but then once you get it everywhere, you want to go back and press it in. You can even use your entire hand, use the palm of your hand if you want to cover more surface space. And you can do your neck too. All right, I'm just going to press that in. It's going to get all nice and absorbed into the skin. All right, and then the last step, I combine 2 steps for the last step, and it is a moisturizer, which I'm going to use the Calendula face cream. The Calendula face cream is great for sensitive skin and dry skin. And then our Super Elixir oil. This stuff is like liquid gold. It is our most expensive product in our makeup catalog or skincare catalog, and it's like $90, I believe, but it's worth every drop. It has 15 different natural oils, and it helps with dark spots from sunspots, age spots. It helps with wrinkles. It helps with hydration. This is a product that you want to use consistently. And I have seen results even after only using it for 3 days from real people that I know. So what I like to do, it has a pre-measured dropper filled. I like to take that and put it in the palm of my hand. And hi, Anjanette Lowry. Good morning. Thank you for watching. And then I take this Calendula face cream. I'm going to get a little bit more and I mix it together. And I do this on all of my makeup clients when I do makeovers, unless they have oily skin, then I use the tea tree face cream versus the Calendula. But I still do this oil. The oil does not make you oily. It's a dry oil. So everybody always loves the smell of it, the scent. It's 15 different natural oils. So it has a natural citrus scent to it. And I have very sensitive skin, and it's weird because when I use it on its own, my skin doesn't really like it. But when I mix it with the face cream, it's fine. I like to also put it on my hands, whatever I have left. I think I need to put on a headband. I feel like I'm getting this all in my hair. Let me go ahead and grab one here. So again, if you're hopping on, please say hi. All right, so again, once you have the product spread out, go back in and tap it in, press it in, okay? Press it in. And I don't know why I went down. You really shouldn't go down on your neck. You should pull up, okay? We don't want to pull anything down. We want to lift it up. And that's what a lot of the techniques I'm going to show you today are going to help you do. It's going to help you get a lifted look. For women over 40, we've got hooded eyes. Our skin texture has changed. I'm 47 years old myself, so I get it. I understand. All right, so we're going to let this all dry. While we are letting it dry, we're going to do our eye primer. I'm going to take a Q-tip and grab some eye primer. Hey, Kim, good morning. I think you're in Minnesota or Wisconsin? Wisconsin. You're in Wisconsin. Good morning. I bet y'all are cold there. Do you have snow? Use a Q-tip to dig out of here. The reason why is because then it doesn't get underneath your fingernails. But what I like to do is take it and put it on the fingertips and tap it back and forth, and the warmth from your fingertips is going to help melt this product up. Sometimes people tell me that their eye primer is too dry. Do this and it won't be too dry, I promise, because that was my client that did the makeup lesson with me last night. That was one of the things that she said, and she brought her products with her, so she had her eye primer, but when I showed her to do this, it was a game changer. So make sure you are warming up that product. And then when you're putting on your eye primer, you want to tap it in. You want to start down here at your lash line and in the corner of the eye and go all the way up to your eyebrow. And do one eye at a time. Don't close your eyes and tap all over because you're not going to be able to see what you're doing. And so just do one eye at a time and gently and lightly just tap that eye primer in. Don't pull or tug the skin around your eyes because then that's going to create extra wrinkles and we do not want that. So just tap it in, okay? It's going to melt in. So then she had our loose setting powder, so I'm going to take that. Now this is a tip, all right? When you take this puff out of this container, it has way too much product on it. So you're going to want to, I'm going to use the lid to kind of tap some of it off. And I'm wearing a black shirt. Loose powder kind of goes everywhere. So I have a mirror right below me and it got all over the mirror. Another thing you're going to want to do before you touch this to your eyes is tap it on the back of your hand. Because do you see how much powder is still coming off? You don't want all that. You just want to tap the excess off onto your hand, and then you can take it and lightly dust it across your eyelid to set your eye primer, okay? So the reason that you're doing that while you're priming your eyes, while you're setting your eyes, is that the eye primer is going to even out the skin tone on your eyelids. It's going to help your eyeshadow colors look more vibrant, and it's going to help your eyeshadow last all day long, okay? And then the reason you want to set it is because it's going to help you be able to easily blend your eyeshadow colors. If you've ever put eye primer on and didn't set it, and then you go to do your eyeshadow and it doesn't blend very well, that's why, okay? So we have primed our eyes. Now, our face skin prep products have had a chance to soak in and dry, so I'm going to go ahead and grab my primer. We're using the Illuminating Primer today. It has a moisturizer built into it, and it's a cream. This primer is going to help minimize my pores. It's going to give my face a glow because it's called Illuminating, and it's going to help my makeup last longer. So I'm going to go ahead and put the primer on. Once I have it spread out, I'm going to go back in and press it all in, okay? This is going everywhere on my face except for my eyes. All right, so then we're gonna finish our eyeshadow and let that dry, okay? All right, so my client that I did a makeup lesson with last night had all her products already and had her own brushes. So I'm gonna simulate the type of brushes that she used, just in case you have these products at home and you know this is a refresher for you. But she had our all-in-one palette, okay? This is contour, highlight, blush, but you can also use it as eyeshadow, and that's what we did. We're gonna use the contour powder and the highlight powder as eyeshadow. So I'm gonna zoom in a little bit here. All right, so she had two eyeshadow brushes. She had one that was smaller and more compact, and then she had one that was a little larger and fluffier, okay? We're gonna use both of them, but we're gonna tap, don't go swirling into your color, okay? First you want to tap your brush. You want to cover basically one side of the brush. You're going to keep your eye open and looking straight ahead into your mirror. You're going to tap that color right above your crease, basically when you have your eyes open so you can still see it. Because if I were to just place it on my lid and then open my eyes, you won't be able to see it. So you have to bring that color up higher. So with your eye open, go ahead and you're packing this color on, okay? You're tapping it in, focusing on the outer half of your eye. You're gonna do the outer corner and bring it in about halfway, okay? You can do that about 2 or 3 times. I'm gonna do the other eye as well. So we can go ahead and do both eyes at the same time. I'm opening my eye and I'm looking straight ahead. I'm not looking down, I'm looking straight ahead into a mirror. If you have a handheld mirror, if you have to grab it and hold it in front of you so that it is straight on, then do that. You don't wanna look down. So that's honestly why I have trouble sometimes coming live and doing my makeup, because as I'm getting older and my eyesight's changing, I have a hard time looking straight into the camera to do certain things because I really do need a mirror rather than the back phone of the camera. But for demonstration purposes, it works best for you to be able to see when I'm looking straight ahead at you. Anyway, next brush, fluffier, bigger brush. You're not gonna put any product on this brush. You're gonna take what is already on your eyes and you're just gonna do slight little circles with a light hand, okay? I'm not pressing like this. I'm holding my brush further back so I have a lighter hand, and I'm just doing small circles to bring the color up and out. So do you see how I'm just taking the color that's there? I am leaving a little bit of space before the eyebrow or below the eyebrow. I'm not going up all the way to the brow, just leaving a little bit of space and just taking what's already there and just blending it out and up, okay? All right, you can do this with any color that you want to. Then I'm just gonna take what was left already on this other brush, this first brush that we used, and I'm just gonna go ahead and just tap it underneath halfway over. So we're going from the outer corner halfway over. This is gonna give you a very nice soft look versus harsh eyeliner, okay? All right, and then we're gonna take our finger and we're gonna use this lighter shimmery shade. Just take your, usually the pinky or the ring finger are the best ones to do this because they're smaller and they can get into the corner easier, but you're gonna go into the corner. So basically you're gonna be like touching the side of your nose bone here, okay? Or your orbital bone, whatever that is called. And you're just tapping that on, okay? And you're not swiping, you're just tapping. And you can bring that color over about halfway if you want to. I like to kind of do about a quarter of the way. So you want to bring your lighter colors on the inner corner and your darker colors on the outer corner, no matter what colors you're using. This is a trick for hooded eyes, because as our eyes are becoming more hooded and the skin is folding over our eyelids, it's taking away space. So these tips are going to help make your eyes look more open, okay? All right, I'm just gonna take a makeup wipe and just clean up underneath the eye. I'm just wrapping that wipe around my finger and using my fingertip to do that cleanup so I can be more precise, okay? All right, let me go ahead and cover brows real quick. So I'm taking my Pharmacy Eyebrow Spoolie brush and just combing through my brows. And then this is a retractable. These have been redone, so these are thicker now. They have a slanted applicator, I think, that provides more support, so they're not as brittle. The old ones we used to have broke off too easily. So the rule of thumb basically with your brow is if you want it to look more natural, do not draw a straight line. You want to draw little lines and you want to follow the pattern of your brow hairs. And you want to do small little strokes and then just comb back through. And if you made any mistakes, use a Q-tip to do some cleanup around your brows. So again, I'm going underneath and just kind of doing little, and then coming up in the direction of the brow hairs. And if you need to fill in any spots, like I have a little section right here, I like to kind of fill in. See what a big difference that makes? And then make sure when you're doing your tail, you're not bringing your tail around your eyes, because that's gonna also cut off space. It's gonna make your eyes more droopy. So you want the tail of your brow to kind of go towards the tip of your ear or your temples, okay? This just takes practice, okay? If this is new for you, just practice. I'm just gonna clean up a little bit around the brow. Okay, next up is the face. We're gonna do concealer, CC cream today for the foundation. CC cream is a color corrector, a medium coverage. You can use it as a foundation if you want just a little something, or you can use it under a foundation, but you're gonna put it on the back of your hand so you can control where all you're putting the product, and just put dots all over your face. What I like to do when I have just a little bit left is just go right here to my chin and kind of bring it down my neck a little bit. I'm gonna take a foundation brush. A foundation brush is gonna be flat on the top. And I'm gonna spray it with some setting spray. I'm gonna lightly mist it. So I wanna hold it far away from each other. I don't wanna be like right here. I wanna hold it back some and give it a couple of sprays and lightly mist it. I like to kind of tap it on the back of my hand so I can see how wet it is before I touch it to my face. But then we're basically just going to stipple the foundation on like so. So using a foundation brush is going to give you a more full coverage, a more kind of flawless look to your foundation. I do use a dampened beauty sponge after this so that I can make sure there's no brush strokes left behind from the foundation. And the dampened beauty sponge will also help take away any excess product. So make sure that you stop with your foundation right at your eye bag area. You don't want to come up underneath your eyes with foundation because it's going to be too heavy and it can look cakey very easily. So you want to just stop at right below your eye bag. So now I'm just kind of pressing and pulling down just a tiny bit when I get down here to my jawline, I am going to bring this down onto my neck so that I don't have any kind of weird makeup line here. Okay, so then I'm gonna take, I have a brush hair here. That was my own hair actually. Now I'm gonna take my dampened beauty sponge, make sure you have it wet, make sure you put it under the water, wring it out, and then take a towel or a paper towel and squeeze the excess water out of it. You just want it to be damp. And then you're just gonna go around your face and lightly, we're not going like this, you're just lightly tapping it in, okay? And then again, down the neck. Now, I have a lot of redness in my face. I like to do a second layer. Whether I'm doing foundation or whether I'm doing CC cream, I do a second layer. You don't have to. That's just me because I have a lot of redness in my face. So I'm just going to go ahead and just apply basically where I feel like I need more. And I'm just going to do a second layer. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and take my beauty sponge. And again, just lightly tap it and press it all in. Don't forget your ears. Okay, don't forget the neck. All right, I don't know why, but I'm getting hairs everywhere today. So if you get hairs and you can't grab them, use your eyebrow spoolie brush and it will pull it right off. Funny little trick there. Okay, my redness is still showing through today. This is crazy, it usually does not. So I'm gonna do a little bit more, and what I'm gonna do this time is just take my beauty sponge, I put a little bit more on the back of my hand, and I'm just gonna go right over that spot where it's still red. Usually 2 coats does it. I'm just really red today, and it may be from the pool. It could be the chemicals, chlorine and stuff from the pool. Like I said, I have sensitive skin, so I haven't been in the pool in at least 3 weeks. And don't forget to use the angle of the sponge to your advantage. If you want to lay it down so that you're covering more surface, if you use the corner to get into the smaller spaces, then use the sponge however you need it. Hey Laura, Benda, good morning. All right, so there's the CC cream. I'm doing a recap of a makeup lesson I did for a client last night so that I can put this on YouTube and have a video for her as a refresher. If you're wondering what I'm doing. All right, so next I'm gonna do concealer. Okay, so here's another tip with the concealer. You wanna put the concealer right below the level of your eye bag. So you see my eye bag starts right here. So I put it just below it. I did some on the corner next to my nose, and then over here in the outer corner of my eye. This is very important to help your under eyes not look cakey, especially if you have a lot of texture, if you have a lot of fine lines. So take the pointy part of your sponge, or you can use a brush for this if you would prefer, and just start tapping. You're gonna kind of go up and down the side of the nose, and then start tapping over here under the eye. And when you get here, just bring that out the corner, bring it out the side of the eye. This is gonna give you a lifted look to your eyes, to your face, okay? So go ahead and just go up and down with the sponge, up and down the side of the nose, and then bring this up the side, okay? I like to then take my fingertip, and the warmth from my finger is gonna help melt that product into the skin. So I'm lightly tapping under the eye. I'm not pulling or tugging, I'm just lightly tapping it in. You want it all to be absorbed into the skin so that it doesn't look cakey. Just using my fingertip to do this. But then I'm also just gonna go back in with my beauty sponge, because a dampened beauty sponge is gonna help take away the excess product. And I probably used a little bit too much concealer just now, to be honest. when I'm doing things on camera, I'm out of my routine of how I do things, and sometimes it's easy to use too much. So there, we've got it all tapped in. So once again, we're going to take our setting powder. This is the puff from the loose powder. Take it to the back of your hand before you touch it to your face. You don't want all that excess powder. You just want a little bit. So you're just going to kind of go underneath where you just put your concealer. And then I'm taking a brush that has nothing on it and just kind of using it to get rid of any excess powder. Okay. Okay, so the lady, my client that came over last night for her makeup lesson, she had her own brushes. She had a brush that looked kind of like this. It was a little bit smaller, but it was like a fluffier powder brush that kind of tapered a little bit at the top. And then she had it was smaller than this, but she had a brush that was angled. Okay, so we're gonna use these two brushes for the rest of the face. We used two brushes for the eyeshadow. We used a foundation brush, and then we're gonna use, sorry, this right here was bugging me. I just need to blend that out a little bit more. And then we're gonna use these two brushes for the face. So all in total, 5 brushes. And I'll show you at the end all of them together. All right, so we have this all-in-one palette, and we're gonna take the contour powder, and we're gonna kind of go and dip this in here. The tip, you want kind of the tip, but the edge or the side, if that makes any sense. We tapped that in, and then I tapped off the excess product. We're gonna go, this is what department stores usually do when they teach you contour, and this was just easier for her, and it looked good, so this is what we're gonna do. Hey, Amy. We're gonna make a C, basically, like this, okay? You're gonna start at your hairline, and you're just gonna lightly press the brush, or maybe even kind of swipe, or just kind of tap it, and then you're gonna come down like this. So you're making a C, do you see that? And you're putting the contour powder basically in a line from the tip of your ear down towards your mouth, but you want to stop at about the end of your eyebrow. So again, I'm going to tap the tip and the side of the brush, tap off the excess, start at the hairline, and then just lightly, very lightly, just swipe on like a C here. And this looked really good on her. She loved how this looked. It really just defined her cheekbones and gave her face some dimension. All right, we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. We're gonna start in the hairline and do a C. And I'm doing this very, very lightly. And then I came back and finished off the forehead. There you go. And then we did under the jawline, just to kind of snatch the jawline. And I'm just using what's left on the brush. We're not doing any heavy contour here. This is super, super light contour, okay? Then we're gonna do the blush. Take your angled blush brush, kind of get like the tip of the brush, tap off your excess. And what I showed her was take your brush and tap it onto the back of your hand first to see what it's gonna look like. Like build the color up on the brush and then go above your bronzer and just kind of tap it in, starting at the hairline. You wanna start back here and then bring your blush forward, but you kind of wanna stop at about the middle of your eye. You can tap or you can lightly swipe. Okay? My nose always runs when I do my makeup live. I don't know why. Now, personally, what I personally like to do is take a powder brush with nothing on it and just kind of tap that blush and the contour. I feel like it kind of just blends everything better. You don't have to do this stuff if you don't feel the need to. Okay, so then I think lashes and lips, and we're finished. So for lashes, I highly recommend the Infinilash by Pharmacy because it has a very small wand that grabs all your hairs, all your little lashes. Something I do recommend is grab you a mirror and get as close to your eyes as possible. So if you need to get yourself a magnified compact mirror, that'll work. But you want to get super close to your mirror and get all the way up to your lash line and do like a zigzag, a little tug back and forth. And then slowly pull up on your lashes, and you can slowly blink into your wand. That's going to actually help coat your lashes. And then you can just keep doing this until you have your desired effect for the mascara. I don't have falsies on. Look at that. This mascara is amazing. And I promise you it's going to be cheaper than what you buy at Ulta or Sephora. There we go. Look at that. Let me go ahead and do my bottom lash. If you get mascara on your eyelids or your face, leave it alone, let it dry, and I'll show you how to fix that. Now, I will say that normally I will do my setting spray before I do my mascara, but I forgot. So we'll have to try to do it when we're done. All right. So let's do this other eye. I mean, just look at that difference with the lashes. Do a little tug, pull up. If you guys hear my dog Opie whining, it's because he wants attention. He always wants to go outside. We have a big fenced in backyard, and he loves to just go and just roam around. He's already been out there like 2 or 3 times this morning. But I'm not showing him attention, so. All right. And then with your bottom lashes, you don't really want to comb them down. You want to go back and forth. Okay. All right. I have shared a ton of tips and tricks today for Makeup Over 40. I hope that you guys have learned some things. I hope that this has been helpful to you. Let's go ahead and do the lips. I do highly recommend a lip liner. People who have like fine lines around the lips, the lip liner is going to help keep your lipstick more in the lines. I don't like this color lip liner, but I think the one I wanted to use is in my purse. So I'm just going to have to make do. And again, you don't have to draw lines, just like how we did with the brow. You can do small little lines for a more natural look. When I'm doing makeup on somebody, that's what I do, is small lines. Okay, and then she had a lip lacquer. I don't have the Positiva color that she had, so I'm just gonna use Curiosa, but a lip lacquer starts off as a lip gloss and then becomes a lip stain. And again, pairing a lip lacquer with a lip liner is gonna help as it becomes a lip stain. Help it look more defined, because if you don't have a lip liner on, it's going to kind of just look like your lipstick is wearing off. All right, there we go. We've got our lip lacquer. I think we're all finished now except for the setting spray. So because my mascara is probably still not completely dry, I'm just going to look down as I spray, not close my eyes. And then you can use anything you have nearby that's straight edge. You know, if you have a piece of paper or a folder or a notebook, whatever. I like to use a fan, but you don't have to go and buy a fan. Whatever you have nearby that is flat will work to help dry it. Now, if you still feel like you have spots of setting spray on your face, just take your dampened beauty sponge and just lightly kind of go back over and just press in those areas super, super lightly. All right, there you go. This is a everyday look using some tips and tricks for women over 40. And I hope that, again, you've learned something and this helps you. So I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye.